A long time ago, in one small town in South Africa, there was this pastor, Pastor Mkhize, that everybody loved. People always said his church was the best, full of miracles, blessings, and testimonies. But behind all the holy look and the white suit pastor always wore, something dark was happening and nobody knew. You see, Pastor wasn't just an ordinary man. He knew about witchcraft, serious juju, the kind of juju that made people rush to his church. But they had no clue they were trading their own souls and destinies for pastor wealth and power. It all started many years ago when Pastor first came to the town. He didn't have many members in his church, so one night he went deep into the forest to meet a powerful Shango man, a witch doctor. The Shango man told him that if he wanted his church to grow, he had to do a serious ritual. Pastor agreed quickly, sharp, without thinking about it. For the ritual, the Shango man told him he had to be buried alive for 5 days in a grave they would dig. The grave would be covered with black burial cloth. For those 5 days, he would have to chant and call on the ancestors, spirits, to help him gather people. He also had to sacrifice 1 black goat and 2 white chickens. The blood of the animals would pour on the soil where he was buried so the spirit would accept the offering. When Pastor agreed, they buried him alive for 5 good days. The whole time he was on the ground, he would only chant spells and asking the spirits to bring people to tie their destiny to his hand and make him richer than anyone in the town. On the 5th night, he dreamed of people walking into his church. When they dug him out on the 6th day, his eyes were bloodshot and his skin pale, but he smiled big. He knew the power had entered him. From that day, Pastor Church started growing. People flocked to it like it was gold they were after. Every Sunday, the offering basket was overflowing. People gave all their money. Can you imagine? Their prayers was reaching heaven, but they didn't know that the man they follow was a master of Juju. Behind his house, Pastor built a small shrine. Inside the shrine, he kept a clay pot. In that pot, he sorted out all his charms and sacrifices, human hair, bones, and pieces of clothes from people he had collected over the years. That's the same pot he used to chant spell, calling the spirits to take people's destiny and tie their futures to his hand. The more people came to his church, the richer he became. In the church, Pastor would lay hands on people's head and they would fall to the ground, rolling like a newborn baby. But no one knew that as they fell, he was collecting their destiny little by little. As his power grew, his heart darkened. His heart was dark like charcoal. Years went by and people still didn't know. The town kept praising him as a holy man, a man of God. Have you heard it? Hey, this pastor is very powerful. He's a man of God. He performed miracles. But one church member, Sister Bonji, Sister Bonji was sharper than the rest. She noticed how Pastor's eyes always lift up during offering time. His eyes would light up as if he have seen stars or as if he is looking at diamonds. And how he would sneak to the back of the church late at night, mumbling to himself. One night, Sister Bonji decided to follow him. Today I must discover why this pastor, they always, they go behind that house where people, they fall down. Why? As she did, in shadows, She heard Pastor chanting strange words. He was calling the spirits, telling them, take this one's future and make it mine. Take this one's marriage and give it to me. Take their joy, take their blessings, give me power, give me wealth. As Pastor was chanting, Sister Bonji's heart skipped a beat. Fear gripped her, but she didn't run. Instead, she gathered her courage and followed him to the shrine. That's where she saw the clay pot filled with Juju charms. Hey! She shouted silently to herself. She could hear the chants clearly now, and saw her pastor was using the charm to control the lives of the church members. Without wasting any time, Sister Bonji grabbed a stone and smashed the clay pot to pieces. As the pot scattered, a strong wind blew and the candles in the shrine went out. Pastor screamed like his life was ending. No! He screamed, falling to the ground, rolling like someone who had been bitten by a snake. The spirit he had been using all these years turned against him. They were furious that the shrine was destroyed and the power scattered. The next Sunday, Sister Bonji told the whole church what she had seen. People cried, they shouted, almost fainted. But as they gathered around Pastor, they saw his end has come. The man who was once a mighty pastor was now as weak as a leaf blown by the wind. His body couldn't stand and his voice couldn't speak. The congregation began to pray and they rejoiced as they released the bondage that had held them for as so long was broken. Pastor lay suffering on the ground, the pain unbearable, his eyes full of regret. The same spirit that had given him power before were now punishing him. The whole town celebrated. But you see, Pastor, he couldn't escape the pain. His secret was exposed, his juju scattered, and now his power had died with it.